Welcome to the channel. In this episode, I'm going to show you a few methods I use to set up my drums fast. I do a lot of gigs, so I could set up my drums in 2 to 3 different venues, over a weekend. So sometimes you gotta get in, get out quick, so to speak, and get your drum set up quick. The way I'm going to show you how to do that is with a Sharpie, tape, these little quick release. These are like the quick release wing nuts from Tama. And of course, lots of memory locks. So stay tuned. It all starts with the rug and a Sharpie. First thing you want to do, take your rug and do what I've already done. Mark the front. This is going to be pointing towards the crowd. And when you mark it on both sides. No matter which way you roll it up, you know which way front is. This rug is just shy of 5 feet wide and just over 40 inches deep, if you will, this way. I say deep this way because it's facing front, so that would be the front, right? And that would be wide. I don't know. Probably the smallest rug you want, but the concept is the same. We're gonna use tape. We're gonna mark basically where everything goes on this rug. And when you use electrical tape, you can lay it down. Here, let me just show you right now. Stick it on there. So the electrical tape stays pretty well on this rug, but if you notice, you can peel it off. So if you need to move things around, electrical tape is very easy to move or peel off and replace. But with that, it's easy to peel off. Not real easy, but it's easy enough that it could get peeled off on accident. So it's kind of a give and take. Whereas if you use duct tape, like this piece right here, that's a leftover piece of duct tape probably from taping a cord down. As you can see, woo, it's on there. Come on, get off there. Yeah, and it kind of pulls up the fibers. So if you want the tape there semi-permanently, use duct tape. First thing I'm going to do is figure out where the bass drum needs to go. Right there. We'll put the kick pedal down also. Next, I'll take the tape and kind of mark out the bass pedal where it belongs. Then I take a little square of tape and put it underneath the drum leg, or the bass drum spur, I should say. Now you can tape around the spur, maybe put tape right around this or around the back side. I prefer to put the tape underneath the legs, that way you don't see it. And then from this point, you grab your throne and you figure out where that needs to be. Ugh. So from here, I will set up all the hardware, all the drums, all the cymbals, and start moving things around. I got that tape right there, and that is so, right there. So the tape right here is so when you open up your cymbal stand, you got that ring of tape right there, whoop, open it up, stops right there on the tape. Tighten that little guy up, and it's in the same place every single time. I don't use a wing nut on my ride cymbal because I find that I hit it a lot with my stick. Okay, I got everything set up to where I think I like it. Before I start putting tape down on the rug underneath all the feet, I'm gonna play a little bit to make sure this is set up the way I want. Here's some unrehearsed choppy beats for you. Enjoy. Now that I have everything set up the way I like it, let me explain the cymbal stands real quick. I mentioned the tape earlier at the base. If you have a taller hardware bag like I do over there, you can put these memory locks on here. Actually, this goes for if you have a tall one or a short one. I have this memory lock on this one because it's also supporting the weight of this mounted tom right there. But you could just drop the boom arm into the cymbal stand and it would fit into that case. Without a tall case like that, you'd put your memory lock there. That way, when you set up and tore down, you could just separate the top from the base and put them in the case together. And that way, when you set up next time, it's always in the same place. An alternative to that, if you don't have memory locks, and this gets into the next step with the Sharpie. So use memory locks when you can. You can't always use memory locks because of hardware case restrictions. I understand that. Another option is you could take a Sharpie and just put a little mark, like a dot or a line, like that. You can see the little line there. Here, extend this up a little bit, and there's the Sharpie mark right there. That way you know that always goes. See if I can do this just right there. And if you wanted to get real fancy, where I'll take my Sharpie, I'll do a vertical Sharpie mark also that lines up with the front of this clamp. You have your horizontal line for your height, then you have your vertical line for your alignment. So this is always set up the same. And then when you come up here, you see those two little Sharpie marks right there? That is so, this is always set up the same way. The angle, I'm actually gonna remark that. And then I don't have these marked. I always clamp this on the second little smooth spot right here. So I clamp it right there. And that's just something I remember. This cymbal stand, I actually don't have this one marked. We're gonna do that to make my life a little bit simpler. And I always clamp this one somewhere between this first smooth spot and that second smooth spot. And then this one, again, you could put do the same thing. Put a Sharpie mark right there. That way I always know what height it's supposed to be. What I do is I set up this one first and then I go like this. Okay, this one's this high. That one needs to be that high. I eyeball it, essentially. And then same thing goes for the snare stand. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna cut a bunch of tape and I'm gonna put it underneath all these legs. Right there, all of them. Then I take my Sharpie and I know that this is a ride cymbal, so I just put R for ride. And then an arrow pointing towards the center. Repeat for all the stands. Without boring you too much, I'm gonna tape all this up and get right back to you. And this is what the rug looks like when it's completed. And I got everything else marked. Like here's an example, we got the snare, so we get an S pointing towards the center, S pointing towards the center, S, kick goes there. That's where everything goes. Makes for a nice, quick, easy setup. And you can do cool stuff like this. Let me show you. Well, there you have it. All set up. Tape marks on this side that are visible. No tape marks visible on this side. Oh, Plan B is the name of my band, in case you're wondering. The design is just silly. That's all it is. It's nothing more than a joke. Tape, quick release wing nuts, Sharpie, and some memory locks. With all that stuff, hopefully that's given you an idea of something you can do for your kit to help you set it up and tear it down faster. I won't say that it'll be in the next few weeks, 8 or 9 videos will be published, but I have 8 or 9 videos I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks, all to do with drum stuff. You asked for it, so you're gonna get it, so to speak. Thanks for watching this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Woo!